And welcome to another episode of Imagination Fun Time. I am your host, Brandon Devine. Oh boy, what day is it? It is Thursday, May 13th, 2001. It's like 2001 was. Wait, did I say 2001? I meant 2021. That's what I meant. 2021. Can you imagine if it was May 13th, 2001, dude? I could save everybody. I could literally be the hero the country needed. If I'd had the information that I have now back in 2001, dude, I could save everybody, prevent 9/11 from happening. Dude, I'd be in America. They would literally probably rename America after me. Oh, man. But yes, so it is actually Thursday, May 13th, 2021. Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Hope you're all doing good. It was a pretty nice day here in Arkansas. I worked today. But the weather is nice. It's getting sunny. It's getting warm. Summer is almost here. That should be fun. I hope everyone's doing good. I hope as you listen to this, I hope COVID is pretty much over in your area. It's pretty much over here. Almost done with the masks. Man, it's gonna be nice getting things back to normal. Okay, so let us read what is in the news on IMDb. Let's see. Top news of today. Let's see. As of today, May 13th, 2021 at 8:16 p.m. Let's see. The news says, first look at Kevin Smith's Master of the Universe reboot. I was not aware that Kevin Smith was rebooting Master of the Universe, but I guess it makes sense. He that's definitely from his generation, so I guess that'll be cool. Queen Latifah's Flavor Unit Entertainment teams with Jim Henson's company for film adaptation of The Conductor's novel. Dude, one of the things I loved when I lived in Hollywood, on Hollywood Boulevard, is walking by the Jim Henson studio. It's fucking so cool, man. It's just this tiny little studio, like right near the corner of Sunset and La Brea, and it's like this huge. It's not huge, but it's just this super legendary studio that's just right there in this crappy part of Hollywood. And it's so. Every time I walked by there, dude, it was so cool to look at, thinking of all the amazing magic that has been made in there. Okay, what else? This Is Us to end with season 6 on NBC. I still have not watched a single episode of This Is Us. But, that's sad. It's supposed to be a good show. Ellen DeGeneres to end daytime talk show in 2022. Oh, man, everyone's getting canceled these days. Oh, man. She's had a pretty good show. She's had a pretty long run. It's better to go out with your head held high than, go out, after when it just gets really old and stale. Maybe it has gotten old and stale. I don't know. But either way, onward and upwards, Ellen. She will probably be doing something else right after that. We shall see. Okay, folks, let us get into what today's episode of Imagination Fun Time, which is about one of my other all-time favorite television shows. It's The Simpsons and South Park are without a doubt hold the spot for my all-time favorite TV shows. So today, we'll be talking about South Park. And the first episode we're going to start with is an episode that is probably easily one of the most popular, famous, and memorable episodes, which is the classic episode titled Make Love, Not Warcraft. Such a fucking stereotypical first episode of this podcast that I talk about South Park, and I'm starting with the Warcraft episode. It's very stereotypical and stupid, but you know what? Fuck it. It's my podcast, and this episode really is fucking awesome. Okay, so the original air date was October 4th, 2006. It is episode 8 of season 10. It is written by Trey Parker and also directed by Trey Parker. Okay, so the outline of this episode is World of Warcraft is the most popular game in the world, both at this time in the real world and in the episode of South Park. So naturally, all the boys in class, everyone's playing online, except for Butters, who is playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, naturally. So they're all trying to enjoy playing the World of Warcraft, but there is this douche with no life who just keeps going around killing everybody in the World of Warcraft, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to challenge people to a duel or something before you can kill them. But no, this guy just straight up says, fuck that, I am going to just kill you. So that naturally pisses all the boys off, and it gets, all the people at Blizzard very concerned. So the boys end up trying at first to all band together, the whole class, and trying to take on this guy together. But the douche with no life ends up just, literally easily killing everybody with no effort whatsoever. He summons a bunch of scorpions. Apparently scorpions just kill people. And all hope is basically lost. Even Randy naturally has to get involved because Randy is just has to be involved in a big trend. Randy gets killed. Everyone gets killed by this guy. But naturally, the only person to not give up is Cartman, because Cartman just never gives up. So through Cartman's incredibly smart mind, he comes up with a way to get him, Kyle, Stan, and Kenny all to a higher level in Warcraft so they can finally kill the douche with no life. So they literally spend 4 weeks, some decent amount of time just basically spending all day, every day, basically 21 hours, 22 hours a day, 2 hours of sleep, playing World of Warcraft, killing boars to slowly gain experience points and boost their power in the game. And in doing so, they all become insanely out of shape, fat, pimply, just from drinking nothing but Rockstar and ramen noodles. And I mean, this episode does answer the question that it is quite possible for Cartman to get fatter. And by God, did he get fucking fat. So they all do that. They all gain to become the same level as the douche with no life. And then they engage in a fucking 17-hour battle online to the basically Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones style epic battle for 17 fucking hours. And then Randy comes to the rescue with the help of the folks at Blizzard with the Sword of 1,000 Truths. And he's, with doing so, ends up getting killed. But Stan is able to finally get the douche with no life. And he finally loses his life. And the boys can go on. It's all happily ever after. And then they realize, what do we do now? It's now we can finally just play the game. It's so we can just keep doing what we're doing. And naturally, the episode ends. This episode is just, by far, I still don't fully understand why this episode is continually, one of the most popular episodes of South Park. But I remember when it came out, still to this day, is, the only episode of South Park that I remember every single person in my school and my friend group outside of school, everybody talking about. Everyone my age was talking about and watching this episode, because I think it was just because World of Warcraft, and for those of you who do not remember, 2005, 2006, and 2007, that was the height of Warcraft. Everybody was playing WoW, and it was an insane time. That was my first year at boarding school, and everybody on campus in their spare time was playing WoW. It was insane. And the only reason I didn't get into playing World of Warcraft is because my mom would not pay for it. And honestly, that's probably a smart move, because who the hell knows what trouble that could have caused me. But this episode was just so fucking popular. And I still, like I said, I still don't truly know why it was just so popular with everybody. I think it's just because they just did such a great job, parodying what the world was like at that point, I think, with Warcraft. So for those of you who don't know, like, so the backdrop of this story is just them coming up with an idea in the writer's room for a Warcraft episode. And then through doing the episode, they actually ended up collaborating with Blizzard themselves to make the episode. Comedy Central, Trey, Matt, and the South Park crew collaborated with the computer people at Blizzard, and Blizzard came over to the South Park studios and worked with the animators on making the Warcraft scenes using, I don't know what the proper word is, but like the same animation or game, computer game design or whatever for the game in the episode. So that's why like the episode literally looks like an episode, it's World of Warcraft. And so all the battle scenes in the episode where the Warcraft characters are actually fighting each other, that is actually a bunch of people all in a room, like at a table, all like a bunch of monitors playing Warcraft, and Trey is telling them all what to do. And he said in the commentary it was kind of like directing a live action shoot, which is kind of which if you think about it, kind of is. And then all the other scenes in the Warcraft world where the characters are talking, that's, the animators and Blizzard people working together to create that. And I also I found out through research that in the World of Warcraft, there is actually something called the Slayer of the Lifeless. It's a sword that is designed after the Sword of a Thousand Truths as a tribute to South Park, which is, pretty cool. Makes sense. It makes sense. I'm sure World of Warcraft got like even more popular after this episode. One of the things throughout the episode that the boys are doing is constantly drinking energy drinks, mainly Rockstar. Oh my God, I remember everybody on campus that year, my first year at Gow, there was so much energy drinks that year. Like, they were everywhere. Everybody was drinking Red Bull, Rockstar, like, Nas, like, I never seen that much energy drinks in my life, still to this day. It was every fucking where. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, in the episode is a song titled Live to Win, which is by Paul Stanley, a former member of Kiss. Dude, that song kicks ass. That song is just so fucking good. And if you guys have only ever heard just a clip that they use in the episode, I highly recommend just going on YouTube and listening to the actual full version of the songs. It's fucking sick. Sorry, smoking a little weed there. Let's see, what? Let's see, just funny things throughout the episode that just I find funny. Oh yeah, Butters just naturally, while everyone else is playing World of Warcraft, Butters naturally would be playing Hello Kitty Island Adventure, which honestly would be a fun game, probably. My favorite line is, "You can't just give up on the world, Warcraft." Just that one line, like, kind of ended up bringing, like, the boys back together in a way. Let's see. If you look in the basement scenes during the battle scenes of the episode, if you look in the background, there is there's an appearance by the Antonio Banderas life-size blow-up doll. Which has just continually apparently been making appearances here and there since the Korn episode. Which is just great because, dude, who wouldn't want a blow-up doll of Antonio Banderas? Oh, God, yeah. For those... this episode contains probably one of not only just one of the grossest scenes on South Park, but also just straight up one of the grossest scenes in television history, in my opinion. And you can only get away with it because it's an animated show. You would never be able to do this in real life. It would just be way too gnarly. Uh, just the scene when the boys are battling for 17 fucking hours. Cartman has to have Cartman's about to have diarrhea. And he just presses the intercom like, "Mom, bathroom, mom, bathroom." And Mrs. Cartman just comes down with a fucking like basin, like that you pee in a hospital or whatever, and Cartman just continuing the battle, like never taking his hands off the keyboard and the mouse and shit. Like, okay, well, he takes like one hand off to like pull down his pants, and just shits so much disgusting diarrhea all over his fucking mom. And oh my god, and she's like, "Ooh, that's a big boys," and she's just so proud of her son. Just Jesus Christ, dude, that is so fucking gross, but so fucking funny. Yeah, that's really about. So that's all I really have to say about the episode. Like, if you never watched this one, please go and watch it. It's one of the best of all time. Okay, and on to the second episode to talk about, which is an episode titled Aspen. The original air date was March 13th, 2004. It is episode 2 of season 6. It is written by Trey Parker and also directed by Trey Parker. And the plot of this episode is, it's one, this is like one of the first episodes to really feature Butters as like a main part of the new group after Kenny, because Kenny died Kenny died for good. Actually, I have to state that for South Park references. Kenny died for good in the previous season, in season 5. And so like Butters had replaced Kenny as the 4th member of the crew. And so naturally, if Butters is now hanging out with the kids, naturally the parents are going to start hanging out. And I think it's Butters' dad that brings up the idea of, hey, there's this free weekend in Aspen. All we gotta do is go to like a 30-minute timeshare meeting, and we get to stay in a condo for the weekend and go skiing. And so naturally, just from that information, it does sound good. It sounds like a pretty good deal. So the 4 boys and all their parents go up to Aspen and have a fabulous ski weekend, or what they think is going to be a fabulous ski weekend. But for the parents, they just end up throughout the episode just getting trapped and trapped and trapped over and over again by these insane timeshare people who just will not give up on selling them a timeshare until literally they are forced to, at gunpoint and at the basic will of the United States government, to give into a shitty timeshare program, which is just fucking stupid because timeshares suck. Meanwhile, the main plot of the episode is the boys are in Aspen skiing or learning to ski because they're just little kids, so they're just learning how to ski on the bunny slope. And then naturally, some dude comes along and has to challenge Stan, because Stan, naturally Stan has been skiing for all of about 5 minutes, so that automatically means he is the best skier on the mountain. And so Thad Jarvis, the best skier in Aspen, comes along and challenges Stan to a big race. And Stan just begrudgingly accepts. And then from there, Thad keeps tormenting Stan over and over again. He steals Heather. I mean, I don't think Heather was ever with Stan. But, Thad steals Heather from Stan. And then from there, Thad challenges Stan to a race down to K13. K13, the most dangerous mountain in all of Colorado, maybe? I don't fucking know. So Stan has to naturally get really good at skiing through a quick, minute and a half montage, and then has the big race, and through some conniving and scheming and help from this local girl trying to save her youth center, Stan ends up beating Thad, winning the big race. and gets really bummed out because he thinks skiing is super lame. But the boys find out that they're going to be coming back next year because the parents had to give in to the timeshare. And they naturally leave all bummed out because they learn no lesson. Everything is just super confusing to them. And they just think skiing sucks. Let's just go back to South Park. The whole episode, I love this episode because I'm a skier. In real life, I've been skiing for like over 20, for like 20, near, getting close to 25 years at this point. My father raised me on skis. He'd been skiing all his life. My father raised me and my brother Trevor on skis. My brother Trevor is like, if he could live on a mountain and just ski every day for the rest of his life, I think he would. Like, he is just born to be on skis. And he went to a ski academy. He's an amazing skier. It's fucking insane. I just really liked this episode because I just related to it every time I watched it. Because I'm like, I always just want to go skiing in Aspen. I've been skiing in a bunch of other places, including Breckenridge. Just went this year, actually. But I haven't skied anywhere else in Colorado, so I will do that one day. And this whole episode is just a parody of the classic ski movies from the late 80s, early 90s, and the basic underdog sports movies in general. The major plot of this movie is a ripoff of this movie called Better Off Dead with John Cusack, and honestly, I've never seen that movie. But it also just has a lot of elements of the ski movies, though, that my father showed me and my brother when we were kids. Because my dad, when I was like 5 to 10, right after my parents got divorced, he lived in this cool ski mountain outside Buffalo called Kissing Bridge. And just for like 5 years, solid 5 years of my childhood, just lived there. And every winter, me and my brother would be out there like every weekend, just wake up, put on our skis and just go skiing all day, take lessons and do whatever. And so naturally my dad would just play like these really funny ski movies from time to time, which the best one of all is the original Ski School. That's a great movie. Hot Dog the movie, Ski Patrol, Snowboard Academy, and the classic Disney Channel original movie, Johnny Tsunami. That, if you guys have never seen that one, please go watch that. That's a great one. And I'm so thankful that Disney Channel back in the day made us a really solid ski and snowboarding movie. They really did a good job with that one. But yeah, like the whole plot is just basically like a ripoff of just any underdog sports movie. You know, the weaker guy comes into town and it's just, trying to learn the sport but is not that good. And naturally there's the big hotshot guy who's awesome at the sport but is just a fucking douchebag. And the hotshot guy ends up getting jealous of this new guy who's just, trying to improve himself, but the douchebag just like, no, fuck that, and starts fucking with that guy. And then there ends up being like one showdown at first that the underdog guy loses at, and then there's, some drama in between, and then there's a big climactic showdown at the end where the underdog wins, and, it's a positive message at the end. And that story has been told like a billion times. And just they do a really funny fucking job because just throughout the entire episode, like the boys just don't give a fuck. Like they don't want to be part of this, but they just end up just going along with it because, just where would the comedy be otherwise? Like the part of the episode is the youth center people, like they're the ones who help out the underdog Stan, like to beat the big bad rich preppy guy Thad, and so naturally, like the boys go to this party at the youth center, and all the people at the youth center is like, what are we gonna do? They're gonna close us down, they're gonna shut us down and tear it down. Where will we go? It's like, who the fuck goes to the youth center? No one hangs out at a fucking youth center. Who hangs out at the youth center? Like, what is there to do there? Go hang out elsewhere. But just like the whole time, like Stan just doesn't give a fuck, but for some reason just goes along with it because mainly because they're just trapped there. I think it's really because they don't know where their parents. They literally don't know where their parents are the entire episode. The parents are just missing. Like even Kyle points it out at one point. Like, dude, our parents have been gone for like 12 hours. Where are they? Like, I think if the parents were around and weren't trapped in the timeshare thing, the boys would have just said like, dude, this sucks. Let's go, and they all would have left. So it's because the parents are trapped that Stan really just has to be a part of has to be a part of the plot and just goes along. One thing I thought was cool though is the whole pizza French fry party episode where the boys are learning to ski. That's authentic. That's actually how you look. That's how you learn to ski. That's how I learned to ski, and my brother, and probably so many others. Like when you're on the bunny slope learning to ski, pizza French fry is actually what you do. Pizza for slowing down your skis, and then French fry for going fast, and it works. And when you're a little kid just learning how to ski, like those few seconds when you go into French fry and you're just like moving, it's scary. I remember being scared at least. Oh yeah, and Cartman was wearing like that weird ski hat that's kind of like it's got like dreadlocks or like almost like kind of coming out like bunch of, it's almost like a big jester hat with like a dreadlock kind of jester hat. And I remember back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, especially, that was like a really big thing. I had one for the winter. I just remember like a lot of people on the mountain used to wear that, like all the kids, especially the snowboarders. Oh yeah, Thumper, the cool ski instructor. There's like that Thumper is literally how all my childhood ski instructors were. Like they all acted like that, and they all probably, like half of them probably hated that they had to deal with a bunch of snot-nosed little kids. Like, dude, I would not want to be in charge of a bunch of kids learning how to ski, having to help them on the fucking chairlift, helping them get off the chairlift, helping them down to fucking, like, dude, I worked with kids for 7 years at the YMCA. And I don't think I could do that, though. I do not think I could do that with the kids. That would be too much. Helping him on a chairlift? Like, fuck that. They would all fall off so much, and they'd be crying, and I'd have to deal. Oh, God. How did my dad do that? Like, I used to have to slow the chairlift down all the time to get on. My brother he used to yell at me all the time, and until I finally just learned how to just get on at regular speed. Let's see, what else about this episode? Is there anything fun? See notebook for rest. Oh yeah, that's right. My other notebook, I'm reading off my notes here. Around town there is this really fucking ridiculous part. Let's see. I'm sorry, this is poor radio, just me looking and reading, but no, what are you gonna do? If you made it this far, I know you're not gonna turn off. You're gonna keep listening. You're gonna trudge through to the end. Oh yeah, in this episode is the montage song. The montage song where Stan is learning how to ski better from Thumper, in preparation for the final showdown with Thad. They have this montage song. It's just this funny montage song parodying like classic sports montages, mainly from like Rocky and like shit like that. And then that song ended up being used later in Trey and Matt's film Team America, which is funny, like, because I feel like if you're a South Park fan and you watch that movie, you definitely would recognize the song. But if you just watch Team America and not having watched South Park, you would just think, oh, it's just part of the movie. So that was I thought that was pretty cool. First time I watched Team America. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's what I wanted to read about was the guy who says you don't want to go down that road, who describing how what the K-13 is all about, because in the shoddy episode of K-13 is just this big dark scary mountain with lightning behind it because that will make it look all scary. um, he said, "You don't want to go down that run. 35 students died or were killed by a wolf boy who escaped from a mental institution. You know that mountain's a burial ground of vampire Wichita Indians who ate the flesh of children with no eyes. Yeah, a lot of history on that run." Dude, if there was seriously like a gang of vampire Wichita Indians, dude, witches and Indians, that's a pretty, and they're vampires. That is just a great combination for like a monster movie. How has nobody done that for a monster movie? That'd be cool. Um, Eating the flesh of children with no eyes. There's just a whole colony of children with just no eyes. There might have been. Jesus Christ. This episode's fucking hilarious. Alright, so that's really it. That's all I have to really say about Aspen and Warcraft and South Park for today. Thank you guys for joining me on this episode of Imagination Fun Time. I hope you enjoyed my insane stoned out ramblings. Like I said, this is only the second episode of the podcast, and I'm still really working out like how this whole podcast thing works. I think I'm trying to do a pretty good job at first. And if you don't think I'm doing a good job, well, you can go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. I'm kidding, maybe. This is fun. I'm enjoying doing this. And yeah, that's basically it for today. Please tune in for the next episode, and until then, I hope you have a great time.